Hey everybody, it's Dina Rica with the Creativity Cave, and I have two adorable and both super simple cards to share with you today. I think you're really going to love how beautiful these are to create, and they're so easy, so that is always wonderful. It makes me happy. So first of all, we're going to start with the Celebrate card. This features the Celebrate You Thinlits from the Saleabration catalog, which of course is our annual promotion with Stampin' Up! For every $50 you get to choose a free item. This year we have a new offer, which is for $100 there are bigger items. So this is actually a $100 choice for these Thinlits. So they're really cool. There's 3 in the packet: Amazing, You, and Celebrate. And then there's also a coordinating stamp set that features similar and coordinating stamp images that all go together. I'm just looking for mine because of course I can't find it. As soon as I start shooting, this is what always happens. So here is the set, Amazing You, and it's really fun to mix and match these different words along with the different dies. And what's kind of cool is like this one is smaller and then this one is bigger, so I like that. Anyway, so let me show you how I put together this card because it really is easy. I'm starting with the crumb cake card base, and I'm also featuring my absolute favorite printed paper from the Occasions catalog, which is the Painted with Love. I'm just grabbing the package so you can see. There's all these images, or I'm sorry, paper designs with gold foil in them. So on one side there's gold foil, and on the other it is designs that have been painted. They're so pretty. I am just so in love with this paper. I can't even tell you. It's stunning in person. Okay, so I had some scraps left over from cutting up pieces for other projects. So what I did with that is I took just a couple scraps that I had laying around, and I created a fun little background that I could add the gold to. So, and by the way, it seems almost a sacrilege to not show that piece, but we're gonna muscle through and make do. Okay, so I just have a strip here, another strip here. I didn't do my check mark. And these can be straight or a little crooked, whatever you want. And then I have my third piece here. Gosh, I'm check mark incapable today. Okay, so I've got my 3 little strips of printed paper, and aren't those just fun, happy, bright, beautiful colors? Now I'm going to add to that the Celebrate, and this was die cut out of our silver foil sheets, and I'm going to use my favorite gluing method, which is to take some of our liquid glue, squeeze just a touch out on the silicone mat, and then I'll grab, I have a sponge dedicated to this, just a wedge with a clip on it so I can keep my hands clean. And I'm just going to kind of dab that glue around so that I can evenly attach it to my die. Okay, and what this does is it gives me excellent coverage on my die cut. You want to hold it in place so that when you're doing it here, so that glue does not make it to the front side of your card. And then look at that, and I'm no sticky. It's wonderful. So isn't that cute? Celebrate. All right, next I'm going to take one of my metallic doilies. I store my doilies in a little case like this, and I need one of the gold metallic doilies, and I just need a hunk of it. In fact, I don't even need a whole one, so I'm going to take, this is actually left over from making this card, so I'm just going to take this piece. I'll probably trim off that excess right there so I can just kind of tuck it in under my DSP. Oops. So it'll just fit in here kind of like so. And then I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back to keep it in place. And then the last step is to just, when I did this, I was like, it needs a little something something. So I took my Fresh Fig 1/8 inch ribbon, and I love this because it kind of can double in as rich razzleberry in this paper, which is perfect. And I'm just going to tie a little bow. And I know you guys love watching me tie bows. it's just practice. This 1/8 inch ribbon is not what I would practice tying bows on for the first time, by the way. 1/8 inch ribbon is a little trickier to tie, I think partly because it's just tiny in your hands and you feel like you're all thumbs. So I would definitely try it with a larger ribbon. 1/2 inch is ideal for bow tying abilities to be maximized. All right, so I'll just glue dot this onto my card and then I'm done. Now I think this is a fantastic card layout for using up scraps of DSP because you know you all have them. And it is great to add some bright fun color to kind of a neutral background. And then the other thing that you can do if you want is add a coordinating spritz of color. So you could take fresh fig, rich raspberry, a bunch of any color, black works too. And I'm just going to spritz this. So I'll just do a little spritzing like so. Now you might not see anything, but then when you bring it up, you can see there's spritz all over the card and it's fabulous. So that's this card. The next card, also very simple, but a completely different look. This uses the Lots of Lavender stamp set, which is also a Saleabration item. I do love this set. It's so pretty and it's so easy to use, which makes it fantastic for stamping, of course. So let me get this out of the way and then we'll make this card also really, really easy. Now, all of the dimensions and details for the items that I've used and photos for these projects can be found on my blog. The link is in the description of this video. There's also links to my online store below of all the items that I used, so you can check that out. It's on my blog as well with pictures if you are more visually inclined like me. Okay, so I have a beautiful card that is going to start with an early espresso card base. Then I will take, and you can't really see it in the photos, I don't think too well, but I really like the look that I achieved when I did this. So I took my marbled background stamp, which is my favorite background. And it's so beautiful, creates such stunning results. So I inked it up really well. I placed my card base onto the card, or onto the rubber, versus trying to pick up the stamp and put it on the card base because it's always crooked when you do it that way. Then I'm taking a large block that I'm going to use as my rubber to rub the ink onto the card. I'm holding my cardstock in place though because I don't want it to move around, otherwise I won't get that crisp, beautiful marbled look that is this image. Okay, I'll pull that off and oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Isn't that cool? It adds a nice little touch, and it's not something like, you know, you don't, when you're close up you see it, but from a distance you don't appreciate it till you come closer to the card and take in everything. You know, just like a fine piece of art. All right, so in seriousness though, I really like this extra added touch. It kind of takes your card from nice to amazing. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is stamp the lavender or like the color of the image. And I was stamping a couple times, and for whatever reason I found this to be the best way for me to get the look I was going for. And I don't really know what else to say about that because it doesn't sound normal. It sounds weird the way I'm saying it, but it works. Okay, so I stamped this down first, and because of the beauty of our photopolymer stamps, you can see through. So now I'm going to take and stamp that detail of the lavender right on top. I want to make sure I get the end of my stem here. Okay, so now I'm just going to line that up. And this is one of those images too that if you don't have it lined up absolutely perfectly, in fact, I don't even know if there really is an absolute perfect for this because it's kind of sketchy, I guess. Okay, so there's my image right over the top, perfectly lined up. Then this set is so brilliant because they took the leaves and put them on separate images. So I can just stamp these two leaves first. I'm actually going to stamp off the first layer of ink. So let me grab a scrap paper here. I wanted my leaves to not be really bright. I wanted them to be kind of in the background. Then the other leaves are this one right here that fits perfectly right there. Isn't that brilliant that they separated out the colors? So you can stamp this super quick and easy. And then they even have an image for the stems. So I'll do that in green right below here. Isn't that amazing? I love this. Now I thought, actually, let me show you the first card I made. I did this card first and I didn't like it quite as much. I don't know why, I just didn't. I'd stamped the bow in early espresso and then I added little yellow over the top with my Stampin' blends, and I wasn't super excited with how it looked, so I changed it up a little bit. I changed the orientation, as you can see as well. I'm going to stamp the sentiment, which actually comes from the stamp set Picture Perfect Birthday. Now this set has totally does not go with the lavender, but I love the look of the sentiments. They're so pretty, and I love the fun script that they're written in, so I thought it actually did look nice with this. So I kind of like being able to spread those stamps out into different uses. So I'm just going to stamp this right here, and it's going to overlap just a touch. I might actually have to stamp it down here so it'll fit. I will, and that's okay. So happiest of birthdays to you. Now last but not least, rather than stamping the early espresso ribbon, I thought we'd leave it as ivory ribbon, but we're going to color it and make it iridescent, beautiful ribbon with our clear wink of Stella. And so then it really makes it a gorgeous look. And then of course I'll just add a little clear wink of Stella over the rest. I'm not putting tons down, just a little bit. So there we go. And then I just left these little bits without any extra coloring on them. Now, of course, I had to spritz this card too, because I think it just sort of screams spritzing. In this case, I'm going to use my early espresso marker for that. And again, if you've never seen me spritz, I just put the tip in the marker and flick. And the question I always get is, does that ruin your markers? And I would say, if not really, I do have a black marker that I have dedicated to this. If you do it over and over and over and over and over a million times, yeah, it's going to wear it out, but so is using your marker regularly. I find I actually use my markers more, not since I've been spritzing with them, and since I already had them, I thought it was a great way to continue to use my markers more. And since Stampin' Blends came out, I don't use my regular markers as much because I'm always blending. So I think it's okay. All right, and I'm a big proponent of using what you have. So if you are holding on to those markers and you want to keep them pristine so they always last long, that's wonderful, but eventually they're either going to dry up or you're just never ever going to actually use them. So wouldn't you rather just use them? Okay, I'm done. I'm not preaching from my high horse anymore. But that's just my take. Use what you have. You've got it. Use it. So here is my beautiful, beautiful card. I hope you loved both of these cards. If you would like to order the supplies to get either of these cards products, please shop my online store. Of course, when you shop with the Creativity Cave, you become a VIP rewards member, and there are all kinds of perks. So check the details out for that on my blog. Thank you so much for stamping with me today, guys. Have a great day and come back and see me again soon. Bye!